I wanted to let you know that IRA SmithTrustee and Receiver Inc. is fully operational. If you need our assistance, rest assured that I and Brandon can still assist you. We, of course, are not meeting anyone face-to-face. Telephone consultations and or online virtual meetings we are doing every day. So if you have any questions or concerns, anything related to a personal or business financial situation, we are available, we are fully operational, and we are here to answer any questions that you might have. My name is Ira Smith, and I am a licensed insolvency trustee in Toronto. First, the hopes that you are all healthy and safe. We pray for all those who have been negatively impacted by this coronavirus pandemic. Brandon wrote this blog about the Canadian federal government's COVID-19 business support program, the Canada Emergency Business Account. He describes what the program's about and points out certain issues about the program that I don't think has been reported widely yet in the press. So, what is the Canada Emergency Business Account? To provide business support to small and medium enterprises and nonprofit organizations. They're putting as much as $25 billion to finance the ceba program. What the ceba program is all about is it provides to each qualified business a loan of $40,000 that is interest-free up until December 31, 2022. In addition to being interest-free for this first year and a half, if the loan is repaid by the end of December 2022, then the business or nonprofit only has to repay 75% or $30,000 of the loan. So it's a 25% gift that the government is giving small business and nonprofits. The requirements to qualify for the ceba program are not onerous. The business has to have been operational and had a federal registered business number on or before March 1, 2020. The small or medium enterprise or nonprofit has to have had a total 2019 payroll between $50,000 and $1 million. So the aim of the program is to provide some extra funding to help businesses through this tough time. It is not available to self-employed people operating through either a proprietorship or a partnership. So what's the ceba all about? How does it work? I've seen it described in the press as a $40,000 line of credit. It really isn't a line of credit in the true sense where you can draw on it up to your authorized amount, and then when you make deposits against it, you still have that extra borrowing room up to the amount of that deposit that you just made, or equal to the amount of that deposit you just made. Rather, it is more like a term loan. If you get approved, the $40,000 is deposited into your business account through the financial institution that you applied through, and then you have that $40,000 loan to use in the business. So, how do you apply? You do it all online, and I think the easiest way to describe it is to actually show you the application. So this is the application, Canada Emergency Business Account Form. As you can see, there's just a few little rules. You have to test. You have the authority to bind the borrower. It's an operating business, in operation since March 1st, 2020, and that you have a federal tax registration number. The information that you need to supply is your CRA business number, goes in here. The total employment income paid in 2019 has to be between $50,000 and $1 million, and you report the amount in there. And that you can prove that amount by providing the 2019 summary of the T4s. You have to have an active business checking operating account with the lender for 90 days or more. You haven't previously used the program or applied at any other financial institution. You can only get it once from one financial institution. You might have to answer some surveys, and you have to not be a government organization, a union that generates a portion of its revenue from carrying on active business, and the owner doesn't hold political office, and that you won't promote violence, hatred, discrimination. That's not what your business is set up for. Then you have to click this box to certify and agree the above information is true and correct. And then you need to fill in the legal business name, phone number, email, branch number of your bank, your business account number, business address, and then your information as the business owner. And then you should read the loan agreement and the privacy agreement. And then you click the checkbox to acknowledge that you've read the loan agreement and the privacy agreement. You agree to the terms and click the submit button, which will open up after you've put in all the rest of the information. What are the important details? The important details of the program are, again, the loan amount is $40,000. The initial term date is December 31, 2022. The extended term date, and I'll explain what that means in a minute, is December 31, 2025. The interest rate is initially 0% per annum during that initial term. And if you don't repay the loan in full by December 31, 2022, then interest at 5% per annum during the extended term is charged and must be paid monthly. So the first interest payment, if the loan is still outstanding in 2023, is January 31, 2023. And details were just released on April 9. So the first thing is you apply through a financial institution where you've had a corporate bank account at least since the 90 days before March 1, 2020. If you're approved, when you get the $40,000 loan and it goes into your account, if you have a negative balance in that account because you've been running an overdraft, the first amount of that $40,000 loan is used to bring your business account back to a zero balance. So if you're running a negative overdraft balance, you really don't get full use of that $40,000. There are certain events of default. You default if you don't pay any amount that's due under the ceba loan program. You also default under ceba if you default in any other loan you have with that bank. So that's something that you should be aware of. If you fail to comply with any of the provisions of the ceba loan agreement, then that's a default. If the business commits any act of bankruptcy or becomes insolvent, then that is an event of default. And if a secured creditor appoints a receiver or gets the court to appoint a receiver over the business or any of its assets, that is also a default under the ceba program. ceba loan is not personally guaranteed by the person who is signing the application on behalf of the corporation. However, there is some interesting language in the ceba loan agreement. It says that it is binding, quote, on you, your heirs, your successors, and personal representatives, including executors and administrators. Now, the words you, your, and yours are defined in the loan agreement to mean the recipient of the loan under the ceba agreement. As far as I can tell, the applicant and the recipient is the incorporated company or the nonprofit organization. I am not sure how those legal entities can have executors or heirs. So how could the agreement be binding on the director of the business or his or her heirs? Does that mean that anyone who applies on behalf of their small or medium enterprise or nonprofit organization has personally guaranteed the ceba loan? That language would make it look that way. However, there is no express provision that the loan is personally guaranteed by the person who has applied on behalf of the corporation or nonprofit, other than the wording I've just told you about. So that is what the COVID-19 business support through the Canada Business Emergency Account is all about. We applaud the federal government for the initiative. Whether it will be enough, along with the wage support program that Brandon has previously written about, only time will tell. So the Ira Smith Team family hopes that you and your family are staying safe and healthy and well balanced. We are fully operational, and both Ira and Brandon are available for telephone consultation or conference calls, virtual meetings. We're just not having face-to-face meetings. So please, everyone, stay safe, stay healthy, and hope that you are able to keep your spirits up during this coronavirus pandemic. I wanted to let you know that Ira Smith